The picture perfect moment coming up, courtesy of Usman's face. Can't wait. I'm gonna break those bones on your face like a fucking chicken wing. I'm talking a lot of crap, bringing religion into it. Fighters shouldn't be bringing religion into it, but there you go. You're kind of stupid, you know. So, anyways, can't wait to dismantle you. I'm gonna do you worse than I did that fucking bum over there, whatever his fucking name is. Still talking shit to look. That's you that got the knee, not me, bitch. Don't bring up my name, because every time you see me, you don't even want to talk to me. You want to go the other way. So shut the fuck up, because all this shit online and all this other, who gives a fuck? Because when you and Usman see me, you tuck tail, you go the other way, or you fucking ask somebody to get in between us. You're both bitches, and I'm going to end you both the same way. Usman, don't you worry. You shouldn't have said shit about my religion, little bitch. I never called myself Jesus. I can't wait, though. I can end your ass in a very violent way.
First fight you took on 6 days' notice, right? And what was striking to me is a lot of times people say, oh, I think I could do better, but you were sitting in the cage and you turned to Dana White and said, give me a full camp, I can beat that guy. And I spoke with you about it. What made you so confident? You know, because the history of these kinds of usually says that the person who wins the first one wins the second one. What did you feel that said, you know you can beat him?
He hits like a bitch. And I was tired. I was tired beyond belief. That I was, you know. The weight cut wasn't the smoothest. So by like the third and fourth round, my gas was really bad. And usually if you're tired, the hits get triplified, you know. Like if you're tired and somebody cracks you, man, it's like times 50 the effect. He cracked me one. He had a good right hand on the fourth round on me, where you know I thought he was gonna shoot it, and he just clocked me in the face. And I looked him right in the soul, and I was like, man, you could never hurt me. And that's why he never wobbled me, he never dropped me or any of that stuff, you know, because he's not built like me. I am full man, and he's something. He's not a man like that, you know. He's not built like that. That's why he has to hug men. He has to rub feet with men. He ain't ready to punch no man in the face, and he knows when that closes and I have the gas to compete with him, it's gonna be a different story. Usually I cut 7 or 9 pounds for a fight, you know, when I have proper notice, and that's the same exact thing I'm cutting now. Last time it wasn't the same; it was about 20 pounds. We're just excited. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to shut this show down. There's going to be violent action from start to finish. I'm going to expose the coward that he is, you know, and I say that with all honesty because he's nothing but a coward, man. He said a lot of things that crossed the lines. So let's go. Let's just get in there and find out who's a real man, who's not. I mean, I got into 25 minutes with him, and I never wobbled, and he never hit my chin, and I said, oh, snap, I don't want to get hit again. I was very tired. I was fatigued, and that's usually when the hit will hurt you. That's like times triple, you know. If you're fatigued and somebody touches you, it's way worse. He doesn't hit, man. He doesn't crack, you know. And the scouting report is who's he doing it against? The last guy that he beat up was a BJJ guy, and the guy before that he broke his jaw is some fragile wrestler guy. So these guys are not, you know, they're not dudes that are made out of stone. They're not dudes that made a living off this. Those guys that he beat up on the feet are dudes that made a living off, let me hug another man and stuff like that. I don't compete like that. I don't make my money like that. People pay to see me because I'm going to give them what they want, entertainment and nothing but violence.
Kamaru Usman is a great fighter. George Masvidal is a good fighter, and there's a massive difference between great and good. And so let's start there. You know, how do you respond to his side saying you're good and Kamaru's great?
That's who's manager again?
The champs, Kamaru's.
Exactly. Of course, he's gonna say, you know, and do a lot of ass kissing for his client. I'll tell you one thing, so you could right away dissect that statement. If Kamaru takes a fight against me on 6-day notice with 20 pounds of cut, I finish him in the first or second round. That's a great fighter. He doesn't go to decision with me, and he knows that for a team. That's why he was hugging me for dear life. Was I a great fighter that night? Nope, I was not a great fighter that night. Will I be a great fighter on April 24th and show the vast difference between me and hug every man that I've ever seen, Kamaru Usman? Yeah, I'm gonna show the world the difference between good and great.
Let's finish up on this. What do you do in this fight? How do you win this fight? What is the ending going to look like?
It's going to be violent. It's going to be bloody. He's going to be unconscious for a rather long time. People are going to be coming in and out to check on him, different doctors. We're going to be celebrating. It's going to end violent, man. The only ending I've seen is that this guy's unconscious and for a long time.
Breaking jaws, bones, cheekbones. Last time I broke his nose with 6-day notice. I'm going to play doctor on his face. I'm just going to slice and dice. Whatever I catch, I'm going to take home with me. You know? I see a very violent ending no matter what. I just want to get in there and compete. Last time we spoke on the show, I was about 19 pounds, 20 pounds away. Right now, as I stand, I'm 7 pounds away. So all that energy that it's going to take to lose that weight, or that I would have used to lose that weight, I'm going to use it on Usman's face to break his face, you know. So he's going to have to go with me from the start to the end at a different pace that he doesn't have built in him. So he's going to immediately go into the hugging mode. And we've been working since the day I competed against this individual. I've been working on nothing but neutralizing all that man hugging and foot rubbing stuff. So as soon as we get into the fight, all he has to deal with is me trying to take his head off and him trying to hug me. And we're more than ready for the hugging.
I jumped on the opportunity to break this guy's face, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, with 6-day notice and 20 pounds of cut, I did some damage to him, and he literally couldn't do anything to me because I'm so much more man than him. So I'm thinking, 30 days, that's like times 5. Yeah, I'm gonna murder this guy. For a title fight of 5 rounds, you want like 8 to 10 weeks, you know, so you could do certain things here, certain things there, because it's not always the same training. But I'm fighting Usman. I already fought him in 6 days. I know what he has. I know what he could offer at his best. And you know, one thing that I'll take away from our first fight is that he's not as mean as he proclaims to be or thinks that he is. I know he loves to jiggle his on air like he's Terry Crews and intimidate people, but he's not mean. I was in there with him. He's not a mean guy, you know. There's no way if this gets turned around, he steps in there against 6-day notice, that I don't do everything in my power to leave him unconscious or break his arm or just hurt him. He's not that mean guy, so I don't feel that I need any more than what the time I've been given. It's perfect.
What did you think of his performance that night, Kamaru's performance?
He's gonna get hurt when we fight.
You watched this live? Did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it live.
But your takeaway, I'm assuming by now you've watched the fight?
Yeah, I saw it like 2 days later.
Okay, so when you're watching that, your takeaway is he's in trouble? That was not he's impressive,
This is my craft, this is my job, so I watch things very serious. I'm so intelligent in this field that I don't need a notepad and paper, but I'm just like this when I'm watching it. And I took a lot away from it, you know. He is literally the same guy that I fought right before. Literally the same guy. Now, granted, Gilbert ran into his jab, and then Gilbert kind of gave up after that. But to me, as far as like skill set goes, hasn't improved anything, and his will's still the same. You know, if the guy like folds and gives into his will, he'll ride that out. But if somebody comes back and fights in him and wrestles into him, he doesn't have it in him, and he don't have that manliness in him, and it showed when we fought. You know, he had chances to like throw blows with me because I was tired from wrestling, and what would he do? Just keep hugging me, just awkward dancing with me and rubbing feet with me. I'm like, man, we're getting paid to fight, and you trying to rub feet? Cool, bro. We'll see what happens when I got a little bit more than 6 days to prepare for your ass.
So there was a lot that was said about his striking, improved striking, things of that nature. None of that impressed you?
I just see us in complete different levels, you know. It's like disrespectful to bring that guy in the striking aspect. I fought animals like Eve Edwards, KJ Nunes. This was like over 10 years ago. Guys that made a living off striking and knocking people the hell out. Usman will never get there. Usman's never been there, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did in the first fight, but just at a much more violent pace. We can't stand together, and he knows it, you know. I don't give a all I know is that he's taking a right now in his pants, you know. Because how do you fight me on 6-day notice and you have no intentions to try to hurt me, to even land like a blow and follow up on it, or try to, you know, choke me or break my arm with an arm bar or something? So I just know that he knows that I'm going to have gas for 5 rounds, and he's going to have to put up with that fucking insane pace of me trying to just end him from start to finish.
When's the last time you watched that fight, the first fight against Usman?
Like a week ago.
And when you watch it, what do you see?
I see somebody that's not mean versus somebody that is very mean-spirited. I see somebody that is content to just hold and rub my feet instead of somebody that, man, I want to hurt you, man. I want to give every single fan in there, whether they love me or they hate me, I want to give them money's worth. You know, this is entertainment at the end of the day, mixed in with skill and stuff, you know. So no excuses. He won the first one. Cool beans. We'll see how much of a different fight this is the second time around. And from the start to the end of it, everybody will be like, yep, this was worth for the first and the second one. Thank you, Masvidal. We love you. Usman, you, because you're the same guy. You know, he's gonna come to hug me and try to put me in the fence, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out.
Would it also be fair to say that you're expecting a better version of him? Because after all, he did take the fight against you on a week's notice as well.
I believe that maybe he was like at 80%, you know. Why? Because not so much me or this and that, because of the traveling, because of the time, you know, and then he had to fight me, last minute notice, now he's getting to prepare for me. You know, so I definitely, I don't think I saw him at his 100%. But I have seen him at 100% in other fights. And more than anything, haven't seen him at 100% or not, like I said earlier, it's not even about the skill. It's about the will of the person, the dog in the person, you know. There's a lot of other fighters that I probably wouldn't fight them on 6-day notice because I'm like, man, those guys are mean. If I'm not in shape and I'm a little bit tired, they're going to try to break my nose. They're going to try to, like, hurt me, you know. Usman's not that guy. He's never been. He's a coward.
These guys want violence, and let me tell you, they don't cheer for me because I'm so good looking or the food that I eat or nothing. That's not why they cheer for me. They cheer for me because I give everybody their hard-earned money. I come in here to perform and bring the violence that they crave, and that's the only reason why I got all these fans behind me.
But the
There's
fans
no
can't
secret.
fight for you.
I'm gonna whoop your ass all by myself. I don't need nobody.
What?
I don't need nobody. I whoop your ass all by myself.
You said that last time. What happened?
Yeah. You know what happened? You rubbed feet with me. I thought you
What
wanted
happened?
to
You
fight.
said that last time.
You rubbed your feet on mine pretty well. You're pretty good at rubbing my feet, bro.
Really?
Yep.
Face didn't say that.
Let's go. I didn't get the broken nose. You did.
I came in the fight with the broken nose.
Okay, cool. Got it. I want to see what the next list is.
All right. Let's just be honest here. Let's be honest. You got 14 losses in your career, 7 in the UFC. You're 3-3 in your last 6. You are sitting there today because I chose you.
So don't
I'm
lose
coming
to this
around the
guy.
track and you were the first guy I'm about to lap. Period.
Don't lose to this guy. Hey, you just said it, man. Don't lose to this
The
guy.
first guy I'm about to lap.
Don't lose to this guy. You know, don't lose to this guy. And when you get when you figure it out
I don't
that
plan to.
we stopped on that rubbing foot technique, you're gonna be in for a long one, man. I'm gonna bust your face up, break more bones than last time.
Word.
Remember this face.
Word.
Word, my brother.
A question for Masvidal. Jorge, I see the BMF belt is on the table. I was wondering, is that on the line in this fight?
You got to be a BMF to compete for that one, and this dude ain't it. So.
The official weight for the champion, Kamaru Usman. All right, folks, here he is, Jorge Game Bread Masvidal. There are a lot of reasons this building is sold out tomorrow. Chief among them, your presence on this fight card. Give us your thoughts on what could transpire here tomorrow, my friend.
First, thank Dana, thank the governor, the mayor of the city for putting this back, letting everybody be here. Great energy. Let's fucking go. I mean, I know what you guys came here for violence, so that's all I'm gonna give you tomorrow. Baptize this individual with some holy fists. You guys know what I bring to the table. I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out.
That was said about his striking, improved striking, things of that nature. None of that impressed you.
I just see us in complete different levels. You know, it's like disrespectful to bring that guy in the striking aspect. I fought animals like Eve Edwards, KJ Noons. This was like over 10 years ago. Guys that made a living off striking and knocking people the hell out. Usman will never get there. Usman's never been there, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did in the first fight, but just at a much more violent pace. We can't stand together, and he knows it. You know.